Hello, I have an exciting new SchoolAI update, and that's that we have really launched our integration with Canvas Learning Management System. So, if you are new to SchoolAI, this is a really helpful feature for if you've created a space that you want your students to interact with. So, spaces in SchoolAI are those student facing chatbots and resources where the students are interacting with AI in a controlled environment. So, if you're leveraging those or you want to get started leveraging those, now it's even easier to get your students into the platform. So your students should not have to sign in to SchoolAI. The Canvas integration allows you to get students there and they don't need to sign in or anything. Really, only staff are the ones who are going to SchoolAI and signing in with your Google account. So if I have built a space or if I want to launch one, I'm going to go to my spaces menu across the top of SchoolAI. And I'm just going to go and show you some different sessions that I already have going. And I'm actually just going to go and I'm going to make a copy of this one so I can show you that setup process. Now, if I was starting from scratch, I could come up here, I could create and go from there. All right. So I have this one, and now I need to make sure that I add it somewhere. So if you've gone through and you've set up a space in SchoolAI in the past, historically, you saw the option for a code, which is a link and a QR code, or Google Classroom, which we don't have, we block, so you will not want to pick that one. But now you're going to see a button for adding to Canvas. So there are a few setup pieces you have to do first, but once you do it once, you're pretty much set to go for the end of time, essentially. So if I click Add to Canvas, it's going to open this window here and it's going to ask me what Canvas class do I want to put this specific SchoolAI resource within. Okay, so the first time I do this, you might not see anything here in this drop-down menu, and instead it's going to say Manage Classes. So if I have not connected it to any type of Canvas course, then I'm going to click Manage Classes. It's going to open a new tab, and this is where I'm going to sync my Canvas classes with my SchoolAI interface. All right, so whenever it loads, it's going to take you to the screen where it shows your integrations. And right here, it's probably going to say connected courses or that you need to connect. I already have a few, so it's going to show me which ones I already have. So I'll click connected courses, and this is where I can add more. So if I want to add this into any type of other course I have all kinds of courses, so all different ones that I put things in. So I'm just actually going to put this in my sandbox. And whenever I've selected any and all of the courses that I want, I'll do save changes. So I do that, and now I'm going to go back over to my original tab. And in this drop down now, you might need to refresh it. Sometimes it takes a second to apply those changes. All right, so I'm going to click that Add to Canvas button again. And I had just clicked the Invite button, and that's where this brought up. So I'll do class, and here we go. Now you see I have another course that's there. So if I select that course, I do have to pick a module for it to go into. So you'll want to make sure you put this in a module that is published. Otherwise, I'm going to pop back over into Canvas here in a second and I can move things around. So for this one, I'm just going to put this in my unit 1. You can give it some instructions. So I like to say like, this is for this activity, or make sure you do this assignment. I want to help you with unit 1 vocab. All right, and then I'll just do add to Canvas. And what this does in Canvas is it creates a Canvas assignment. All right, so whenever I have created this, it's going to create a Canvas assignment, and it always opens it in a new tab. So I can see where it is and then move it around if I need to. A key piece to know is that while it creates this in a Canvas assignment, SchoolAI's integration doesn't quite have the feature at this point in time to where it's going to assess the students and then put a grade in this Canvas gradebook. So you can set up the SchoolAI experience and chatbot in the settings for it to create some type of assessment or score for the students, but then you would have to go and assign that or enter those grades. So it's not going to do it on its own. Okay, so here's the cool thing is that now that we've this integrated into Canvas and assignment, it automatically uses the student's Canvas account information and logs it in SchoolAI. So meaning now if I go into the SchoolAI mission control, I'm going to see my students' names so they don't have to sign in. They don't have to enter login information. Canvas did that for them automatically. Now, a couple of other pieces I want to point out. If you're anything like me, while this is nice that this is all embedded here in Canvas, I personally like things to open in another tab. That's just my preference. So I'm going to click this Edit Assignment Settings. And I'm going to scroll a little bit further down the page. And this is where you can put points on it. You can put more instructions. So what I'm actually going to do right here for the instructions is I'm going to say, click the loaded new tab button to get started. Because I'm going to set this up to where it opens in a new tab. Because I like that personally. I like having more tabs open. If you don't have to do this. This is totally optional. But I'm going to scroll a little bit further down. I can put this in assignment groups. I don't want this to count towards the final grade because it's just a resource for them. So I'm not going to check this box. I'm not going to put any points on it either, but you have the flexibility to do that. External tools all filled out. So when we picked our Canvas bit here in SchoolAI, it populates that information for you. But the only thing you're going to want to change is this load tool in new tab. So that's the part that I like for my assignment specifically. So you can put a due date on it. You can do whatever you need to do. I'm going to put this as, 22nd. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to give unlimited attempts. I'm not going to put this to where it's syncing to PowerSchool because it's a practice resource, but I'm going to do save and publish. All right. So now it's going to look a little bit different for students. So this is why I added the instructions. Click the load a new tab button to get started, because for a student to access this now I want it to open in this window. So it's still going to use the student's login credentials and still save all of that in SchoolAI, still have it going. But I know I personally like to have more than one tab, and some of your students might like that too. And what's nice is that if you load it in the other tab, you don't have to click the arrow button. I have noticed that if I keep it in the same screen as Canvas, if I press enter, it's not continuing the chat. You have to click the up button. So that's just my personal preference, but I thought I would share that. So that is the new SchoolAI integration. So you can still see what you need in SchoolAI. So if I come over here and I close this, now I can see, I started my own assignment. So it's logging my information, shows it here, and I can still access those things. As you have more students interacting with it, this little groups button is kind of cool. It will group students based on how they've been doing and where they are. So you can refresh this as you get more data. You can sort students and kind of get a nice feel for where they need more support, where they have enough practice, and who's ready to move on to the next thing. So let me know if you have questions about this new integration. It's up and running, so it should be functional for you. But if you get stuck, we're more than willing to help.